and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
Good morning to you. It's Coffee and here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Joe Callahan, and
Certainly
sitting
is.
in the guest chair right now
I can verify
is Dave
that.
Richards. Hello there, Dave.
There he is right there,
There I am.
across from me at the table.
And we expect Melissa Murray to be here, and Rich Lane will join us around 8:30 this morning on
betcha.
Coffee and. The first segment of Coffee and sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. So what's buzzing with them, Dave, in your email?
Well, of course, it's going to be the point in the legislature's lifespan and workflow that they're getting ready to make some big decisions that are going to stick. Some of them just might hurt. You ought to know about it. So the legislative updates are going out from the chamber, and I got one this week. As a matter of fact, this past Monday, they were awaiting the posting of the 2026 fiscal year budget in the House Finance Committee, and they're waiting all the action that comes from that. Of course, that's usually the last thing they do before they say arrivederci for the summertime, but that's the way it goes. Then they gave us a list of bills that are being considered by various houses here, like the Senate Labor and Gaming Committee has all kinds of different things about paying wages, labor and labor relations, fair employment practices, health and safety, and stuff like that. And gosh, I mean, they just if you want to have your blood pressure go up, just take a look and see what bills are coming up.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, that'll do it for you. You'll be looking for the Valium in no time. So anyway, to be serious about it, the legislature is doing what it does, and it's governing, or it's making a full court attempt at it. And obviously, they can't make a decision that's going to help one person without it being a negative impact on somebody else. They'll be making these decisions in the next few weeks, and you'll read all about them in the chamber legislative updates. If you're a member of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, they come right to your mailbox, your email box. So become a member by calling 334-1000. Do that after 9 o'clock this morning because they don't answer the phone before 9.
All right, Dave,
They're
thanks.
all listening to Coffee and too.
I'm sure they are. All right. So you know what I did early evening last night?
I'm not so sure I want to know, Jim.
I did what most people probably did as well. We all did it collectively and all at the same time. If
Went to the bathroom.
No.
Just like during MASH,
no.
right?
Yeah, wait for the commercial. No. My gosh, it's hot. So if you had window air conditioners, you got them out and you put them in and you turned them on.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Yep.
Yeah.
Where are the air conditioners? Put them in. It is so miserably hot. So that's what we did. And I'm sure if you had window air conditioners and you hadn't put them in yet, I'm sure a lot of people did that as well.
We only put some of them in. We didn't put it in the studio yet.
Not yet.
Well, I kind of dragged my feet on that. First of all, you're going to be in the 70s all next week.
Right.
And you're not going to need the air conditioners. So we have the fan in today. And not quite enough on a 92-degree day or an 84-degree day or something like that, but we'll get by. But also, Gary and the gang, they shut it off. And now
not
they
the
don't
gang,
have
just Gary.
anything.
Yeah.
Now they don't have anything in the studio on the hot days. And I'm saying to myself, my goodness, how do I handle this? You want to put an air conditioner in and make everybody cool, but if they're going to shut it off during the program, they can't even get fresh air because it's only one window in the studio, Joe. And if you put the air conditioner
we could bust out that one and go to the other window, make a nice long tunnel.
You mean the window looking into the lobby?
Yeah, that would bust out that one.
That's not going to help too much. But so anyway, like I say, later on, the fan's going to be very nice. You can't get any fresh air in once you put the air conditioner in till like October when we take them out.
Right.
So that's the deal, and we'll see that. There might be a little suffering going on today. But
all right.
not because I didn't care.
Melissa, did you put in Windows? I mean, not Windows.
Why are we
AC?
even talking about hot cocoa right now? Like,
no, we're
no. No, I didn't. I don't have one.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. So,
Nope.
All right.
You want one?
No, not right now. No,
No?
not right now. I don't have AC in my house. I don't have AC in my car.
You roll the
So-
windows down, you get natural AC.
Yeah.
There you go. Doesn't
that?
cost you a thing.
455 air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I always like to point out when I'm right. 'Cause it's not often. It's not often. So.
Oh, jeez.
And I said yesterday on the Coffee and program that this the Marcelo Gomes da Silva from Milford.
Yeah.
I said he was going before. I said this to Bob Lauder. He was going on his court appearance yesterday in Chelmsford. I said he will be let out, and I was right. I
Yeah.
said, "Wow, I got it
boy.
right."
Yeah. The backlash was.
that took clairvoyance, I'll tell you.
Well, I know it was a 50-50 shot. So, but I picked the right shot this time because you never know what judges are going to do, and they say, "Oh no, we got to keep him for I don't know whatever reason." Just reading up on more of it, and you never get all the facts right away.
Sure.
When these stories come out, and so they pulled him over. ICE pulled him over because they were looking for his dad in the car. And when they realized this is not the guy we had, you don't know what kind of conversations were taking place between the ICE agents and Mr. Da Silva. And somehow it comes out, well, let's check your citizenship or whatever. And when they found out his visa had expired as well, I'm playing devil's advocate here, Melissa, as the ICE agent, you have to take him in. This is what our job is. If you're the cop seeing someone rob a store, you got to grab them, even though they're a child. So
You still.
they
Yeah.
just, I know they were doing what
You
they were
still-
supposed to do.
But you still have discretion, isn't that right? I mean.
Well, so does the cop with the person robbing the store. And so, well, we can let him go,
Yeah.
but I'm
know.
thinking, and I
I know.
hate,
He's a kid.
I
He's a
hate to
kid.
say it, because that's what the Nazis said. I was just doing my job. I was just
Yeah,
following
right,
orders.
right.
This is what we're supposed to do.
At what point do you?
When can you make
Right. I mean,
your
he's a
decision
kid,
on
but
your
he
own?
was 18, right? So.
But now he's an adult.
Yeah, but he's.
They're not looking at. Yeah,
I
he might have said, "I'm on
understand
my way to volleyball practice at the high school."
Technically, he's an adult.
They say,
but-
"Well, we don't really care where you're heading, and we don't care that you're a high school student. We know you're an
right.
adult."
They didn't.
And I don't know if you read about, he didn't really like it up there in Burlington, sharing the cells with
Yeah.
with the men that were up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I don't imagine
Sleeping
that
on-
was a good. Yeah, no,
sleeping
that was
on the
not
floor.
good.
He said he hadn't had a shower in 6 days. It's like, wow.
So now you know what the conditions were like for people.
It's
He
rough.
also said that he
Yes.
was engaged by the authorities to become an interpreter to some of the other inmates because he speaks 3 languages. Because
Oh,
he's
that might have
Brazilian.
helped a lot.
Because he's Brazilian.
So it's
He
Portuguese.
grew up speaking Portuguese,
In
right?
Spanish
And Spanish.
and English. Okay.
And English, right?
So he's a help.
So he actually helped. He says, you said in the interview, he says, I was actually the first person to tell some of these folks they were going to be deported.
They didn't know why they were in prison in
Well,
Burlington?
they may have been told by authorities, but not in a way
Not
that
in
they
their
understood.
language. Okay. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And so, well, it was quite the life experience for.
Oh,
the young man.
sure. And he talked about stuff he missed. The volleyball game he was practicing for, he missed.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they win?
That's what he wanted to know, and
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knew. But and he missed his girlfriend, who was a senior, her graduation. He wanted to go to that, and he missed it. And I'm sure there were other things that he missed as well. So I don't know what's next,
right.
though. Now that he's out on that $2,000 bond, I guess he has to appear again.
Of course he does.
Start
At
getting-
some
That's what
point.
bond is for.
Yeah.
To make sure you come back.
Yeah.
Right.
So they deemed him he's not a threat, and so everything is not good.
And also, according to the report that I read, Joe,
Yeah.
he wasn't aware of his immigration status.
Well, they
It's
probably
not
didn't tell
something
him.
that
It's not something that-
18-year-olds
yeah,
think
right.
about.
Well, when you're
Right.
brought
when
here
you've
when
been
you're
there
when you're brought here
for
when
11
you're 7,
years already.
yeah.
And you
Right.
just, this is where life is. This
He-
is where home is. This is my, and so he wasn't even thinking about the fact
Of course
that he,
not.
At
Of course
7,
not.
he's gonna have vague recollections, if any, of his life in Brazil.
right?
Maybe he remembers something, like the house they lived in Brazil, but here, this is home,
Well,
basically.
childhood memories generally go back to about 4 or 5.
Okay, well, that's what I'm
depending
saying.
on the person, yeah.
I'm thinking back. He can remember the street they lived on, and remember where they lived, and
Yeah.
maybe he had a friend. I don't know.
I mean, I remember Webster, but when I was 4, we left Webster and moved to
Yeah.
Muskog.
Okay. All right. Well, more on that coming up as it comes down.
I don't remember a
So,
whole lot about it.
Melissa, the House passed the ban on assault weapons.
Yep.
43 to 28. They added an amendment specifying the kinds of weapons to be banned and removing a requirement to register weapons that are lawfully possessed when the ban would take effect. Okay. So now it goes
Too
over
late
to
in the season for this to actually survive, is it?
it goes over to the Senate. What happens now?
What happens now? Good question. Our Judiciary Committee is made up such that I am not sure if the bill gets out of committee.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. There's not
yeah.
enough
It's
time
so
left
late.
in the session. Am I wrong?
Well, yes.
No, there you go.
When you add the dollop of politics that goes into it and negotiating and the time
but
it takes for all of that
people
stuff.
have been talking about this all year. This has been
yeah. Well, it's a red herring.
yeah.
You got
yeah.
serious stuff to do, folks.
Yeah.
I mean,
lot
like
of
Well,
stuff
some
to do.
people consider this serious, Dave.
For some people, this is their
this
single
rat
issue.
poison bill. My goodness, don't we have serious work to do, boys and girls?
That's her bill, Dave.
I know.
You know,
And
I'm
it's a
having
good
fun.
It's
It's
a good one.
unanimous.
She sees it on my
I know.
screen right over
bipartisan.
here.
It's unanimous.
It was a huge bipartisan bill for me. It was unanimous. Even yeah.
But it's not like
Even those Republicans.
this
voted
is
for it,
not
right?
going to feed babies and stuff like that. This
No,
is
it won't.
right.
But it might keep them from getting poisoned.
There
Well,
you go.
There you go. That's your point of view. I just think that in the my punch list, my priority list, it wouldn't be up there for action right now. I would be worrying about other stuff
Well, they are. They're worrying
I have
about
18
the
other
assault
bills
bills.
that are passing.
that you're worrying about, right?
I have 18 other bills that are passing. Maybe 19 or
so,
20.
So
yeah.
let me just take you off the hook here a little bit. So basically, this is what I was trying to get you to say in the first place. All right, fine. We got 20 things we're trying to do. The important ones are taking much longer. We're doing the easy ones first. So
low-hanging
get off
fruit,
my
sure.
back.
Always,
I wouldn't say that
yeah.
that bill was necessarily easy. I put it in
No?
last year. It didn't go anywhere.
What is it, a big rat poison lobbyist down there, or what?
A big blue bug.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's right.
right.
Exterminators, what, hey,
But
you're in our turf.
that's why this year we gave an alternative, right?
They don't realize this bill, the way I read it, makes it much better for rats.
No.
And much better for exterminators. Because people will not be able to do what they've always done to eliminate
So
them.
those poisons have not been found to be particularly effective, but what they have been doing is killing the wildlife and the raptors. And I don't remember if we talked about this maybe a couple of years ago in Cranston. There was a young bald eagle who flew into the doorway of an elementary school, I think it was, or a high school, and it had eaten these poisoned rats, right? So there's the first generation, and then there's the second generation. They're called SCARs. They're basically like anticoagulant rodenticides, and they take a really long time. They stay in the body for a really long time. And so if a rat or a mouse or whatever squirrel eats this, and then the raptors eat that, it's really a horrible and excruciating death. So raptors probably eat around these are things that I've learned, right? Raptors probably eat around 100, could eat up to 100 rats. And if they eat only two poisoned rats, they can die. So we're losing owls. There's been a lot of bunnies around. People are wondering why are there so many bunnies? Is it because we're losing the raptors? But anyway, so these poisons are really nasty. They're the kind you see in those black bait boxes. Pets get into them, and kids can get into them. They're super, super toxic. They're so toxic. I use this example on the floor that if a rat ingests it and goes into your attic or your wall or whatever and dies, as that body desiccates, you can actually breathe in the poisons. They're super toxic. So we wanted to ban those. We wanted to give folks, there are exceptions. There are exceptions to protect public water. There's protections for farms, breweries. But there was a pilot program that the Audubon Society started in municipalities, and it's been working. And it sterilizes the rats. So it's been working. It's non-toxic, and there's money available. to cities and towns if they want to do this. So the phase out is long. It's over 2 years. It gives the opportunity for the stores, the retail stores, to be able to sell off what's on their shelves. So, I don't like that it's going to be like this big long phase out, but that's the way it goes. So
There'll be another like food thing that sterilizes the
Yep,
rats
yep.
that you place out. And
Correct.
Okay, got
Yep.
it. All right, we're gonna take a break here on the Coffee and Program. And Dave, a time for a second message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Well, before you do that, I've been holding off a comment. You explained that bill well, much better than the press release.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Because all I knew is what was in the press release, and you explained it very well, and you may have persuaded me. Just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you.
334-1000. Call the chamber after 9 o'clock. ON 1240. Landmark Medical Center would like to congratulate the high school graduating class of 2025 on this momentous occasion. If you're looking for a medical care provided with integrity and compassion for all patients, choose Landmark Medical Center. They provide the high-quality care you need close to home in your own community, and they also offer emergency care when you need it most, 24 hours a day, every day. Landmark Medical Center. Quality, compassion, community is what we're all about.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale, which means if you're shopping for summer, you can get insider deals on our best brands, even ones that aren't usually on sale, like an extra 30% off Hugo Boss, Calvin Klein, Levi's, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance. And with Father's Day just around the corner on June 15th, it's a great time to shop for Dad. Stop by Macy's today and walk out with the perfect gift. Don't miss Friends and Family. Ends Monday, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON, AM, and FM.
It's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, and Melissa Murray is here as well. And so if you're listening, this will be important for the people that are listening in live. If you're listening in the replay, this is already going to have taken place. But Dave, what are you hearing? What do you know about the graduation this afternoon at 4 p.m. for Woonsocket High? When will a decision, actually, this is the real question, when will a decision be made on whether or not we move it because of what may or may not happen with the weather?
Well, first of all, I know the people who are making these decisions, and they have my absolute support.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I agree with the decision or not is not important.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough call always. And every blasted graduation day, it becomes a tough call because nobody wants to go indoors for graduation.
Right.
0 people want to do this. Not even the people making the decision. But they have to worry about health, safety. They got rented sound equipment, stuff like that. They have to be concerned if there's going to be a thunderstorm or rain and stuff like that. Okay, so they're doing this. I spoke with Paul Bourget yesterday, who's the chairman of the school committee, and he's standing by, and he is doing what I'm doing. He's praying for the wisdom of the people making the decisions because it's the administration, not the school committee.
Right, but they got to make it by a certain time.
They do. And generally speaking, if they can aggregate enough confidence, it will be between 11 and noon. Because here's what happens. Weather forecasts generally are updated by the government weather service every 6 hours on the 5s and 11s.
All right.
Round the clock. So we had our 5 o'clock update. The next update is at 11 a.m.-ish. All right? And then based on that, they'll make a decision, usually by noontime. If it's too close to call, or they need more time to see what's developing, look at radar maps, all the rest of that sort of stuff, it has in the past occasionally gone to 1 o'clock. But by 1 o'clock, the decision, indoors or outdoors, is committed to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
One way or the other. Okay? So that's what we've got. And that's your timeline based on past history. Everybody is an additional emotional component to it, of course. Everybody thought that maybe last year would have been our last commencement exercises at Barry Field. A lot of memories there and all that. But it didn't happen. I mean, they didn't tear down the stands or anything else like that. And this always happens with construction deals. So there's a little delay there. So everything's still up and intact. They're bringing in generators. They always bring in generators because too much electricity consumed by that massive sound system and everything else. They use it on the, I don't know if they got a 50 amp or 100 amp circuit in the grandstands over there. But they need good solid power. So everybody's running off the generator, which is another concern because I have all this rented equipment. The stage has been up all week long over at Barry Field. They set it up and they let it settle and they make their adjustments so that everything is tip top. So they're making all the plans as if it was going to happen. Now people are out there right now. I can't see what's going on there right now, but I know they're getting ready for this afternoon, and it is Barry Field unless otherwise stated.
Okay.
By compelling information.
Yep. And it's hurry up and wait time right now.
Now, I've looked at the same information that they're looking at, and I have shared with the audience that, in my opinion, worth a shot. Got an 80% chance of getting this thing without any thunderstorm, without any rain over Barry Field.
Right.
Could happen somewhere else in the city. Could be North Smithfield. Could be Cumberland. But over Barry Field, you got an 80% chance of staying dry, and like that. So I'm thinking that it's going to go that way, and
Okay.
I think it's a good bet. But we don't know for sure. We will have the announcement as soon as we get it here, perhaps as early as the noontime news.
Okay, very good. Rich Lane has joined us at the coffee and table. Hey,
Yes,
Rich.
he has.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be back.
Glad to have you here, so that's cool. We'll be talking about the post coming up in a few minutes. And one other thing I wanted to bring up, and this is a little housekeeping stuff. We got a really cool contest going on where you can win tickets to Six Flags out there in Agawam, Massachusetts.
Anybody a roller coaster aficionado?
I am. I like roller
Yeah, Joe
coasters.
loves them.
I love
Joe
roller
loves them.
coasters.
Now, I've been on them.
Yeah.
They're a thrill.
Yeah.
I can take them or leave them.
All right.
You know, at this point in my life, I'm more into I don't even get a big kick out of the bumper cars anymore, which I loved when I was a kid. But
Rich, you like
Yeah, I like roller
Oh,
coasters.
there
I'm
you
more
go.
into
Absolutely,
Ferris
yeah.
wheels now, where you can take your girl up in the top and have a little kiss and stuff like
Nope,
that. I'm
nope.
a bit more sedate.
All right. Well, we got something new out there, Rich. All right,
All
out
right.
there at Six Flags, New England's first dual launch straddle coaster. So
They
you ride it
launch
like
it twice.
you ride it like a motorcycle.
There's two beginnings to it.
All right,
Okay.
and we got two launches.
All right.
So the riders are launched out when you first start. You launch out at 30 miles per hour. Doesn't sound fast until you're blowing 30 miles an hour in your
Yeah,
face.
try doing it without a car.
Then you go along and you speed up and you go to a second launch at 45 miles per hour. So you get some real
Which
decent speed
isn't
on this
really
baby.
fast if you're in a car, but without a car,
11 moments of airtime. Do you know what airtime is, Melissa?
The
where
loopy
your
things.
body
No.
feels weightlessness.
Yeah. The roller coaster
Your body
aficionados
feels weightlessness for
love it
11
when your
seconds.
butt comes off the seat of what
Nope.
you're riding.
Nope.
And the longer you're in the air, the better it is.
Nope.
That's how they determine what's a good roller coaster. So
Well, that's what you're
11,
paying your money for, because
Oh,
to get the
yeah.
experience you can't get at home.
11 moments of that. The track's over 2,600 feet long. Unique straddle steampunk hover bike vehicle design, so it's like you're riding a motorcycle. And high thrill features throughout the ride, a 59-foot airtime hill, overbank turns, and high-speed turnaround. And we're giving away free tickets. And it's an online
Well, not
contest.
just to that. It's free
Well,
tickets
no,
to
for
get
the
into
park.
the park. Go to the
Yeah.
things in the park that you like, even if it's just the cotton candy. And
Right, but this is what's new there. It's called the Quantum Accelerator, but if you go to our website, woonsocketradio.com, click on Six Flags game entry, you can enter once per day, and we start giving away tickets one day,
Monday.
one a day, starting on
We're
Mondays.
announcing it on Coffee Ann, are we? The winners?
Sure.
I didn't remember from the meeting. What time of day are we announcing?
We'll do it on Coffee Inn.
Okay.
All right.
Then we'll post it up on
Yeah.
the website. Because this is
Alrighty.
where you're registering on the website,
Yeah.
woonsocketradio.com.
So the North
Click on the
Providence
roller
man
coaster,
who
Joe.
pleaded guilty to trying to burn down a church in that town got sentenced to just 6 years in federal prison. I think that's a little low, but I'm not the judge. Kevin Colantonio was arrested a few days after setting the fire in February of 2024 to the Shiloh Gospel Temple Ministries, a predominantly black membership church. During the investigation, police found racist writings in Colantonio's apartment, and surveillance video shows him, there are cameras everywhere, buying the gasoline and the lighter just before the fires were set. So, not a real member of Mensa, this guy. And so, but 6 years, I guess, because no one died, and it's just the building.
They don't
But
consider it a hate crime. You found
You know-
racist writings. I mean,
the racist writings are only in his apartment.
right?
If he had wrote racist things on the church and then tried to burn it down, maybe they could have got him on that. But 6 years just seems like a little for this
Yeah, he'll
arson.
probably be out in 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Completely
Yeah.
rehabilitated, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yep,
Right.
yep. I found
Completely
the Lord.
rehabilitated.
Yeah.
That's the excuse right there. You
yeah,
know,
they found God.
Yeah.
And
God.
I heard Dave say this story, and they're everywhere right now. And I'm hearing about sightings in Uxbridge and in Douglas, Mass. But black bears are being spotted in Smithfield. So they're roaming around. And like Dave said,
Caught on people's ring cameras and stuff. Yeah.
And like Dave said in his news story, hide the bird feeders, which turn into squirrel feeders sometimes, because the bears go after
turn
that
into-
food too.
Which
Yeah.
turn into bear feeders.
Which secure the garbage containers, especially if there's if there's a food source in there. So, but they're black bears. They don't normally bother you. They try to stay away from humans, and they'll just be on their merry way. So, but I did see videos. But this is out in California. If it gets hot enough, they will jump into your pool for a little swim and probably a little drink. And I guess the chlorine doesn't bother them, but they will cool off. You didn't see that? Yeah, there was one about 2 weeks ago. A mother and her cub are getting in the water, and they were having a good time, splashing around in the pool. They know
Don't
how to
swim with the bears.
I wouldn't swim with the bears.
Don't do it.
It's like swimming with the sharks,
Right? Yeah.
I wouldn't do that either.
But sometimes how people are, and they're like, "Oh, there's a bear in my yard. Let me go take a selfie with it or something." Like, don't.
We always had those stories of the people at Yosemite National Park. Oh, look at the bison that are just grazing. I'll go get real close so I can get a selfie. And then they get trampled by the bison.
Yeah, how large
How
those
large a bison
animals
is.
are.
And how they really don't want to be fondled by humans. Leave us alone. So yeah, if you have a bear in your swimming pool, that's not the opportunity. Hey, let's go swimming with the bears, because especially if the cub is there, mom's going to take care of you if you're messing around with the cub. So keep
Put
keep
your
away.
trash, keep your trash secured.
Yep, that's right. All right, other things going on. That club in Providence is having their issues. Passion Lounge.
Not anymore. They got no licenses.
Well, all their licenses have been revoked. The Providence Board of Licenses initially ordered the Passion Lounge to close for 72 hours due to public safety concerns. Someone was shot outside the club one night. However, the panel has now revoked the club's licenses. Police are continuing to investigate the shooting, and so far, there have been no arrests. And they don't give you a reason why they've decided to just pull it. Have you heard anything, Melissa, down there in Providence? Anyone
No.
kicking in that around?
No.
I don't know if it makes its way to the State House at all. But they're just like, no.
There must have been other issues.
That's got to be
We
part
don't
of the
know about.
investigation. Something else is obviously something else is going on there. So I don't know. So we'll have to see.
You guys. When I'm on my way in
Yeah.
here in the morning, you guys do all the good stuff. Can I make a comment on something you did from the last block?
Oh,
with
no.
with the
We're
Marcelo.
just trying to get the
there.
audience ready for you
With
there.
No,
the-
right?
the kid
with the man from
Milford. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's right
Yeah.
next door to where I live. You know
Yeah.
something, and whether you agree or disagree, that's not the issue with me.
All right.
Like, I'm a father. If my kid got picked up, they were looking for you, the father.
Yeah.
I'm picking up the phone
Oh,
and I'm saying,
I'll turn myself in. All right.
I'll trade.
Yeah, we'll
I
trade
want,
right now.
but let my kid go.
He didn't do that.
No.
You know, they did
I don't get that.
You know,
that
he
either.
he did make a video. I read this
yeah,
yesterday.
but they said they didn't know where he was.
That's right.
You remember
he
that?
made a video
Yeah.
saying please release my son.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But they still
But-
don't know where he
Yeah.
is.
I
Yes-
mean,
yes, Melissa?
I'd be all over.
Right.
Am I wrong?
As a dad.
No, you're not.
As a dad.
Yeah, you say,
God,
okay,
please, yeah.
you've got my son. You really got me.
Yeah, you wanted me.
let's-
You thought it was me. So,
So
here
let's
I am.
switch. Yeah.
Well, if you listen to the little audio clip that we had of the marshal who was making the press conference, says, "Well, this guy's not going to get Father of the Year."
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he
That's-
didn't do this.
Well,
I
he had,
understand,
didn't he
yeah.
have like? I thought I saw a report that in the last 11 years he had something like 16 driving citations.
I
One
know.
of them doing over 100 miles an hour.
I didn't hear that.
And
Yeah.
They listed a bunch of
In Milford or out on
the site.
495?
I have no idea what it, but he had. But in the last 10 or 11 years, he had like 16 driving citations.
Wow.
I guess the guy was known by law enforcement for other things. So
Maybe he got tipped off that they were coming.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Coffee and more coming up. Time for the forecast, which is being brought to you by, let me see.
I do have that set up for you
Thank
there.
you. Compassion International.
Partly sunny skies today with a high of 84 degrees. There is a 50% chance of a shower or thunderstorm afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 60 degrees. Saturday's weather. Showers are likely and a thunderstorm possible before 4 p.m., and then just plain showers and thunderstorms after that. Cloudy skies Saturday with a high of 77. Chance of rain is 70% Saturday. A quarter to half an inch of rain is possible Saturday. Sunday, partly sunny skies, high of 77. Monday, mostly cloudy and 73. Tuesday, cloudy skies, 73 with a 40% chance of a shower. Tuesday night, 50% chance of a shower. Wednesday, mostly sunny skies at a high of 80. And Thursday, sunshine and 83.
Thanks, Dave. And outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with cloudy skies, it's humid. We have 74 degrees.
Congratulations, grads, and wishes for a bright future from Navigant Credit Union. Navigant's committed to the financial well-being of the families, businesses, and communities they serve, and they're proud to support students through scholarships and financial education programs. They also invest in the latest technologies and tools to make managing your finances a little easier. To open an account, call 233-4700 or find one of their conveniently located branches all over Rhode Island or online at navigantcu.org. Navigant Credit Union, where our customers are our owners are our customers. Navigant.
Hi, this is Leia Pfeiffer.
And this is Alex Kipnis.
We're organizers on the planning committee for Woonsocket Pride, and we're so excited to invite you to the Woonsocket Pride Festival on Sunday, June 8th, from 12 to 6 p.m. at River Island Art Park.
The day will be packed with music and drag performances, speeches, food trucks and vendors, tables for local organizations, a performance with the flags, and a ton of other activities.
Follow us at Woonsocket Pride on all socials to learn more. We hope to see you there.
It's Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Rich Lane, Melissa Murray, and Dave Richards. And this portion of Coffee and is sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper, which Dave happens to have in his hands.
You lucky dog.
Go ahead,
Yes, I
Dave.
do. I have the Cumberland Lincoln edition in my hand right now here, Joe, and I'm looking at hugs and kisses from the Mount St. Charles graduation ceremony. A nice picture over there. Ethan Shorey has a very interesting and intriguing article. I haven't had a chance to read yet, but boy, I'll tell you. A Mystery Cargo is the title of it. You'll remember the P&W railroad train jumped the tracks last week, right?
With the pellets in it.
Right,
yeah.
with the pellets in it. Now, nothing was dangerous this time, but they say, yeah, well, sometimes stuff is transported on the rail tracks that is dangerous. Well, do the town officials
town
get
aware?
told before it
Yeah.
comes through town? Well, no, that's not normally what we do. Tell everybody that we're bringing something.
Wow. Okay.
Something. So anyway, there's a story about that in there. An abandoned dog was found in a parking lot, ready for adoption in Lincoln and Cumberland, as a matter of fact. And of course, we've got inserts I'll tell you about in a minute. I just dropped one on the floor. I'll pick it up in a moment. Right now, I have the North Smithfield, Woonsocket, and Blackstone edition here. Blackstone Millville graduates are considering the past while dreaming of the future. Another picture from Mount St. Charles, the procession down the big long steps at the official entrance. not the one everybody uses, but the official entrance to Mount St.
official
Charles
entrance that nobody can get
Academy.
to.
Yes, the 100 steps. Somebody counted them. I forget what they are actually. So anyway, that's kind of the story there. And also, let's see. There's a cute little picture over here too, with somebody decorating their cap and wearing sunglasses at graduation. Now, that's not the only thing, folks. Inside every Valley Breeze, you've got an Ocean State job lot, little circular, and there's some really interesting stuff in that. And spring into summer, full color glossy insert in your Valley Breeze this week. Pick them up. Free where you shop every Thursday.
All right, Dave, thanks. All right, Rich, it's the 80th anniversary today of D-Day.
81.
I'm sorry, what?
81.
81?
Yep.
Did I do the math wrong?
81.
Yep. You did
81.
the math wrong.
81. Look at that. Now he's
He's
no 81st.
he's pulling out his
The only
calculator. He's
reason
going
I
to do
know
the math.
is because
Right.
I actually posted
It
something.
didn't happen in 45 because the war in Europe was over that year.
Oh, you're right.
By
It's
this
44.
time of the year.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
81.
Yeah.
I put the wrong year in.
That's
Oh,
okay. That's okay. At least you remembered, which a lot of people out there don't.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
know, so that's a good thing.
All right.
See?
What else is going on at the Post?
Well, the invasion of Normandy definitely ain't going on at the
Oh,
Post. That's for
right.
sure. But tomorrow night is a band underneath our pavilion. The band starts at 7 o'clock to 11. It's Wicked West. And, of course, we've got a covered pavilion, and from the weather's just saying like it might have a little spritz of a shower or whatever. But you don't let that bother you because you're underneath a nice pavilion. You're going to stay nice and dry. We're going to have the outside bar open, and we have an Asian cuisine food truck coming tomorrow. So, I mean, come on out and listen to the music and buy yourself something to eat and have a drink. And as always, there's no cover charge for listening to our bands up at American Legion Post 85. So that is tomorrow night from 7 to 11 for our bands. Now, the next thing coming up, and I am so looking forward to this night because I'm going to have a knife and fork and a big old plate of food in front of me for this night. Can't wait. Friday, June the 13th, from 5 to 8 p.m. down at American Legion Post 85, we are going to have a Polish night.
Yep.
And we are going to
You were
have
gonna say
some
that.
homemade Polish food. Well, by homemade, I mean it ain't everybody bringing a dish or anything, but we got these people that I mean, the kielbasa and the galumpis and the kapusta.
The other thing we can't
and and pierogies and just all this really, really good stuff to eat. So anybody out there, I'm going to say the time again, Friday, June 13th from 5 to 8 p.m. for our Polish night with the food. There's no advance sale of tickets for this, okay? Basically, you come there, have yourself a good meal. When the food runs out, if you get there too late,
Come over to River Island Art Park and watch the rest of the free concert.
there you go. They're starting next week at River Island?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my God, I didn't know that. I'm so
Yeah.
excited about that. Too. I
Meg
love going
Rigo
there.
will be on the show with us next Friday.
Will she?
Talking about
haven't
the
seen Meg in a
that
while.
and the
I'm looking
season.
forward to
Yeah,
that.
That's right. And by the way, it's Woonsocket night. You'll see Spanish music because the headlining band is a Spanish speaker from Woonsocket,
Awesome.
Shawnee,
Awesome.
national artist, as a matter of fact.
Awesome.
She doesn't tour. It's what she does. She did it when she was younger. Now she's got a life. She works in social service agencies and helps people and like that. Lovely lady.
See, so you can come and have some Polish food at 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
which is plenty of time to get over
Oh,
to
yeah.
the park for the
You
band.
can come over at 7 or 8 and you'll still see
There you
her.
go.
Yeah.
See, so look, we just made everybody's whole night next
There
Friday.
you go.
Isn't that wonderful? See the service that you provide, Dave, here at WOON. But anyhow, that's what's going on that Friday. Now, I'm going to have Melissa look it up for me. I don't know if we have a band on Saturday the 14th. I don't think there is, but I'll just keep
I'll
on
find
going.
out.
On Flag Day?
I don't know if we have a band or
If you
not,
don't, I
but
have a suggestion.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's find out if you
All
do
right.
or not.
But-
'Cause I don't want to compete with your announcement.
But the next thing coming up is Wednesday, June the 18th. That's our bike night.
Right.
All right. So if you have yourself an all decked out motorcycle and you want to show it off to
Little
people,
streamers.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Baseball
not
cards and
yeah,
spokes.
the ding ding thing on the
Mm-hmm.
on the handle. But no,
Oh,
no, not that type. A motorcycle. Well, we should call it motorcycle night or
Yes,
something,
you
shouldn't we?
should,
Or
really.
Street bike night, or we should change the name. I'll suggest.
Although, you
that.
know, those little things they terrorize the pedestrians on the sidewalks with, those electric bikes,
Yes.
technically that's an electric motor.
Yes.
And technically that is a motorbike.
There you go. There you go. I don't think we'll see any of those, no. But anyhow, the bike night on Wednesday, June 18th. The registration for that is from 5:30 to 7 p.m. There's no entry fee. You will have a chance, if your bike wins, to get a $100 cash prize. No entry fee. How do you beat that?
I know it.
$100 cash prize for a first place finish. And we got trophies for the top three. There's going to be food and drinks available for purchase. There'll be vendors there. So if you're looking for some gear for your bike, or, you know, for some wearing gear when you're out riding, there'll be vendors there for that. Then another huge weekend. This is going to be an absolutely huge weekend. I pray that the weather's going to be gorgeous.
It's going to be huge, yeah?
Yep.
Huge.
The big, beautiful weekend. I'm sorry.
No.
Call it that.
I'm going to call it the big, beautiful weekend, okay?
But then what do you do for an encore?
Melissa's not coming now. I can see.
Elon.
Oh, I'm getting
You know
so,
what? I was going to help you out. I'm looking over on your
I'm
website.
getting,
Maybe not. Maybe
you know,
I
for
won't
those of you
now.
that just listen, I'm getting such a look. It's unbelievable. over here.
Elon won't show up.
Elon won't show. But anyhow, this weekend, Saturday, June 21st, is our Family Fun Day, okay? And this is open to the public. And if you've ever wanted to come down to American Legion Post 85 to see what they're all about, you should come on Saturday, June 21st for the Fun Day. It's going to go from noon to 11 p.m. For the kids, we're going to have like a petting zoo, face painting, some food, and I'm understanding the kids love macaroni and cheese, so I know we're going to make a bunch of
doesn't?
mac and cheese, right? Yep. And we're going to have some fun games and activities and just a whole lot of stuff going on. All four entities will be down there in the Family Fun Day. The Legion itself, the Ladies Auxiliary, the Friends of Fairmount, and the Sons of the American Legion. We'll all be there, so if you ever wanted to join any of those entities, they'll be there to explain everything to you. The bands that day are going to be unbelievable. We have the School of Rock coming in from 2:30 to 4:30, and I'm understanding there's going to be about 16 to 18 of these teenage musicians that are going to be performing that afternoon. And if you're looking for the type of music, I don't want to listen to all that stuff, you know, for music. These guys, look at Joe.
I don't even know.
But
what
you
that
know what
means.
I'm saying, right?
Well,
No.
it was effective communications, but it did have its entertainment value.
There, it does, okay. But if you want to listen to some good rock and roll, old time rock and roll, that's what these kids do. And it's just good music. They're going to perform from 2:30 to 4:30. And then from 7 to 11 p.m., we're going to have Runnin' Wild, a local band from around here that's played at the Post. And no cover charge. You know, the only thing you're going to have to pay for, we're probably going to have hot dogs and hamburgers there, and you know, French fries. We got a fryer. Everybody asks us for French fries. We never have French fries. We're going to have a fryer later there. We're going to do French fries this time. Guess whose idea that was?
Yours.
Got that right. All right.
Taking full credit.
Not only on June 21st, but now June 22nd, and I love Trish Parenteau from Boovification. She does great things for women with breast cancer, men and women who have had breast cancer. Her 10th anniversary birthday bash is June the 22nd, the day after our Family Fun Day, from 12 to 6 p.m. That's going to be a beer and dynamite, $20. How do you beat that?
Weather's going to be great.
Weather's going to be great, absolutely. The bands that she has booked are Tucker's Creek from 12:30 to 2:30, and then from 3:30 to 5:30, Bulletproof. Country bands. Both these bands are phenomenal. I've heard both of them. She's going to have a petting zoo for the kids. There's going to be raffles. There's going to be all sorts of good things for y'all to take part in. So come out on the 21st. Come out on June 22nd. Plan that weekend and just have yourself a good old time with your family. And one thing I do want to mention real quick is the membership benefits from joining the American Legion Post. And it doesn't make any difference what entity you join. If you're a member for a minimum of 30 days, and let's say 2 months from now you want to rent a hall, you're going to get about a 60% savings on a hall rental from what you'd normally pay at American Legion Post 85. You can join the Friends of Fairmount as a civilian with no military ties. You can join the Friends of Fairmount for $20 a year. You don't know if you're going to need a hall 6 months from now. If you do, you're going to get like $125 savings on a hall rental. Please come on down and check us all out and join one of the entities, one of the organizations. You won't be sorry.
Excellent.
And now, do we have a band on the 14th?
No.
We do not have a
Nope,
band.
you've
Okay.
covered
Then may I
everything.
suggest
Mayor Davis, suggest a way.
our dear friend Daryl Sherman. It's her birthday on Saturday the 14th. And on Flag Day. She's always very, very excited about that. And she gets her birthday wish this year. Says, first of all, Dave, don't tell anybody, but it's going to be a very special birthday. It's one of those birthdays that, it's like a milestone birthday and stuff like that. So Daryl Sherman's coming up from Manhattan, where she lives and works. She'll be here actually for, I guess there's a life celebration of somebody she knew was passed on Sunday. She'll be here with us on Monday and Tuesday here at the radio station. But then on Saturday night, the 14th, she's there with someone she's been wanting to play with at Chan's for so long. She comes up every year and plays at Chan's. Never available. This year he is Duke Robillard. And some other really great choice musicians. So the two of them are going to be on stage. It's going to be her birthday. Yes, there will be a cake. And like that. And that's at Chan's a week from tomorrow.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Coffee In. This portion of the Coffee In program is sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
ON 1240.
Attention, graduating seniors. The Valley Breeze would like to congratulate all of you bright students and wish you a very bright future. Now is the time to celebrate your accomplishments, and you can read all about the local valedictorians and salutatorians in the Valley Breeze newspaper. Be sure to pick up your Valley Breeze newspaper every Thursday at numerous locations throughout the Blackstone Valley, and you can always go online to valleybreeze.com.
In a world where good food, friendly faces, and unforgettable memories collide, there's one place that stands out from the rest. Gators Pub is proudly celebrating 35 years of excellence in North Smithfield. Join us at Gators Pub, where every visit feels like coming home. Our secret to success? It's simple. Our super friendly staff and mouth-watering dishes prepared fresh daily by our talented chefs. Sink your teeth into our delectable lunch specials from Monday through Thursday and savor complimentary soup to warm your soul. Enjoy the game day excitement with multiple TVs showing the Boston Red Sox while indulging in classic appetizers like our famous potato skins and pita chips. Looking for a lively atmosphere to watch volleyball games? Look no further. Pair it with our juicy burgers or the latest cocktail creations to elevate your experience. Gators Pub, your ultimate destination for good times and great food. Come and celebrate with us at Gators Pub on Route 102, just a mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Make every moment memorable at Gators Pub, where good friends and great flavors meet. Remember, there are no strangers at Gators Pub, just good friends you haven't met yet.
Woonsocket educators send their warmest congratulations to this year's seniors from Woonsocket High School. The educators and community are intensely proud of your resiliency for how you persevered to earn your diplomas after the immense challenges laid in front of you over the past 4 years. Memories of your graduation will likely include caps, gowns, and friendships. The friendships you formed with your fellow students and faculty will burn for you, and we eagerly wait to see the positive influence you will have on this community. You will be remembered. Remember that education is a lifelong process, and the best investment you will make is in yourself, and then to have the wisdom and grace to take your gifts and pay it forward to the next generation. The Woonsocket Teachers Guild is happy to share in the excitement of the new Woonsocket High School graduates who expect to celebrate their day similar to other Woonsocket alumni who cherish this special time with their friends and family. We simply couldn't be prouder or happier for you.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
ON AM and FM.
It's Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Rich Lane. Looking at some of the other things going on around the country. A girl out in Wisconsin has set a new state record for the most Girl Scout cookies sold. Molly Lee Enos of Madison, Wisconsin, over 13 years now, has sold 35,598 boxes of cookies.
Wow.
No, I did some quick math, and I did the math correctly this time, Rich. If they charge $5 a box,
Which they don't anymore. It's more than that.
That's cheap.
I went with 5. That's $177,990 right there.
Right.
So it's obviously more.
Well, yeah, but they used to be $2.50 a box. Then
Yeah.
a few years ago they went to $4. I think it's $6 or $8 now.
Now
I didn't buy one this year. I didn't run into any Girl Scouts.
Now her family has also set a record because she has a sister, and combined they have sold 64,000 boxes.
Cool.
Of Girl Scout cookies.
A couple of tough cookies.
Yeah.
There.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, the
Joe.
the peanut, the one that's like a Reese's.
Yeah,
peanut butter chocolate one.
Dave, what about you?
Well, it depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Thin mints are always a winner, but
Oh yeah, they got to be frozen though.
they had that little caramel thing with coconut on it.
That's the Simone.
Samoan, is that what
That's
they call
my
it?
favorite.
Yeah.
What
I
about
like,
you?
yeah,
That-
no, I like the Thin Mints.
That's the
Thin
guilty.
Mints, yeah.
That's the guilty pleasure one right there.
But they got to be frozen, like I said. They got to be out of the freezer. The Thin
No.
Mints. No. Oh God. A warm
No,
Thin
you
Mint,
just break them
please.
apart and put them in
Really?
the milk.
Okay.
Put them in the milk.
I love milk with cookies. Serious.
Cookie Monster over here. Well, someone's always thinking, and there's a man
Well,
that
who
owns.
are they? I want to hire them.
All right, there's a man. He owns a donut shop down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Oh no, it's Murfreesboro.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and today is National
Today
Donut Day.
is
Today is
National
National Donut Day.
It
It is.
National
I know.
Donut Day.
We had donuts in the
Now
Senate
they've
yesterday.
got their own four-legged celebrity down there because they still haven't found the runaway zebra in that general area of Tennessee.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. It's tough to wrangle those babies. And
because there's so many places for them
They
to
can
hide.
hide.
Like they're
Donut Country is the name of the
Why, you
donut
can't
shop.
find them?
He's added a zebra-striped donut to honor the creature that's on the loose. The shop owner described it as a, quote, glazed donut with buttercream icing and chocolate drizzle.
Oh, cool.
So if you're in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee, pop into Donut Country. Tell them Larry sent you.
Yeah, get your zebra donut.
Get your zebra donut. Yes, I'm sure, and I'm sure it's delicious.
I'm still hung up on like how they can't find the zebra though.
You know, who knows how these things act in the wild? And yeah, it's white and black, and
Yeah, but generally speaking,
you
it
think
has
you'd be
most
able
of the
to find it?
characteristics of a horse.
but they're smaller.
Right.
So I don't know. They lay down and curl
So
up.
they
I
can
don't
hide
know.
easier.
Well, yeah, that's what it's doing. So all right.
Why do I have this vision of the Zyrex? Remember Zyrex, the Kool-Aid drink?
Oh,
Wasn't that a
gosh,
zebra?
Yeah.
Zyrex, remember?
Yeah.
When he
Didn't
said
much
zebra,
care
that
for
just
it.
came back as a childhood
Yeah,
memory.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Didn't
I
much care for
don't
it.
know about
No?
that. No,
Don't
no.
remember
I
that?
don't-
I
Look
don't
it up.
remember
Look it
that.
up,
Yeah.
Melissa. See,
Yep.
I just
should
remember.
us go older folks here.
What was the name of the gum that had a
Fruit
zebra?
stripe gum.
Fruit stripe.
Fruit
gum.
stripe, that had the
Yeah,
zebra too.
yeah, and the
That's
taste
right,
lasts
that's
for
right
like
too,
5
yep.
seconds.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, worst gum ever
But it had different flavors.
for like 3 seconds.
I remember them being yellow stripes and green stripes and
Yeah.
red stripes,
Yeah.
depending on what you wanted
Horrible.
to eat. All right. Well, the cause of death for George Wendt, played Norma on Cheers, has been released. And really, to no surprise, he died of cardiac arrest with congestive heart failure, coronary artery disease, and hypertension
Just died in
as
his sleep.
underlying causes. Just passed away in his sleep.
Just died in his sleep.
Yeah,
And
at
of
the
course,
age of,
he wasn't all
76.
that healthy because they found liver lipinoids and stuff like that. And
Kidney failure, hyper.
I said liver. I meant to say
Wow.
kidney.
Yeah, kidney failure, and other significant contributing conditions. Well,
It's a lot.
and a lot of beer.
Yep.
You know, they used near beer on the show.
Or did they?
Yeah, because they'd be shooting for hours.
That's right.
Can't have you forgetting the lines, boys.
All right. Good news for you, Melissa.
Okay.
Drinking coffee daily may be tied to healthy aging in women.
Fantastic.
Okay. Drink more. According to a study presented at the American Society for Nutrition, researchers used a large sample size and 30 years of follow-up to assess several different aspects of longevity and healthy aging. The study found after 3 decades, there were 3,706 women who met the definition of a healthy age. It consists of living to age 70 or older, being free from 11 major chronic diseases, maintaining physical function, having good mental health, exhibiting no cognitive impairment, and showing no memory complaints. I don't know how they tie this into coffee, but all right.
Yeah.
Alternatively, researchers found
Guys
no
who
link.
drink coffees dies at 40, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Researchers
Gotcha.
have also found no link between healthy aging and decaffeinated coffee or tea, but the study found caffeinated soda lowered participants' chances of healthy aging by 20 to 26%. So you can't substitute Coca-Cola or
No, 'cause
Pepsi
it's super
for
bad
coffee.
for you.
Yeah, all the sugar.
See, I'm 70, and we
Okay.
talk about healthy aging here in women and men. But
Yeah.
you know, I go have a physical once a year, and my wife looks at me when I walk out.
Whether
the
you
door.
need it or not,
I
right?
I get the look when I walk out the door, like, you know, make sure
How
you
are
tell
things?
me
Yeah,
when all
everything.
the blood work comes back and all this stuff and everything. And my doctor always just looks at me and says, you could probably stand to lose a few pounds, he said, but just keep doing what you're doing, because everything's looking pretty good.
There you go.
And I get home, and my wife gives me that look as if to say,
He's lying.
he either doesn't know what he's talking about, or you're defying just about every.
Time for a
th-
new doctor?
I just think it's like the way different people's bodies just
Respond differently.
absorb things differently. That's
Yeah.
all. So I'm going to keep absorbing like I normally do.
With
I'm
with
fine. Where do you see
moderation.
my plate of Polish food that's going to be in front of me?
With moderation.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Oh.
right. You could sit down and have a nice big plate of that, but what are you eating before that and after that? That's
No,
what
well,
nobody's seeing.
after that, there's my typical 3 fingers of sambuca. And, you
But
know,
Rich,
a little
but Rich
sip,
is right.
Digest.
I don't know.
Digestivo, right.
I don't know if
That's what
Melissa's
it's
going to
for.
remember this person, but Dave and Rich, you must remember a man by the name of Jim Fix.
Yes.
He was a runner, a marathon. And he really started the whole running craze back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. Died of a heart attack at 42.
Yeah.
You know where he died?
Running,
on the
right?
on the porch of he had just got out of his doctor's office and he dropped dead
Right then.
in the porch.
Wow. I
At
didn't
the
know that.
doctor's office. Yep.
But
Yep.
I wonder
what the
I
doctor
believe
told him to
I
do that.
believe
Yeah.
I'm about 100% right because I
Okay.
remember reading that. I'm saying to myself, yeah, you walk out of your doctor's office and
But he was in perfect shape.
Yeah,
Ran
yeah, he was a runner,
marathons,
yeah.
But there was a thing in his family history
Yeah,
of heart
congenital, yeah.
Yeah.
things, and that's it.
yeah, yeah, unbelievable. Hey, you never know. You never know.
When your work
Well,
is
you're
done,
right.
you lay down your tools.
Yeah.
there you
That's
go.
Whether
There
you want
go.
whether you want to or not.
Yep.
Right? and it's not up to you. It's up to the boss when your work is done.
That's right. As they say, you make plans and God laughs.
Great line.
And
that sounds Irish, is it?
I don't think I would
Yeah?
like to attribute it to an Irish
yeah,
person,
right.
but no, I've heard it from all over.
Yeah.
they've all said that.
But
kind
now
of thing,
it
so.
does make you feel good when you get the clean bill of health from the doc, right?
Oh,
course.
absolutely. I mean, are you kidding me? Like I said, you know, I see. I worked in corrections, you know, for 20 years.
Sure.
And in the military and everything that's taken place, and you just, and hey, more than half of my life is already over, right?
Well, yeah.
And
at
you,
70, sure.
and you just sit back and you go, I'm going to enjoy the rest of. I really do. I enjoy my life now. I have a good time.
All right. Were you Rich? Were you a fan of the TV show Married with Children?
Yes, I loved that.
All right. One of the all-time great Al Bundy lines.
Yeah.
And he came in after the day of work at the shoe store, and he just sat down. And he goes, "Well, on the bright side, life is half over."
Yep. There you go.
Well,
That show is great.
all right, that'll wrap it up for today. I don't think Dave found that amusing. But But thanks for listening all. Dave Richards, thanks for coming in, and best of luck this afternoon. With
The whole show is amusing.
with the
Yeah,
high school
thank
graduation.
you very much for that. And again, my heart goes out to the people who have to make the decisions, and we know that you'll make the best when you can.
All right, and Melissa, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone.
All right, and Rich, thanks for coming in on Fridays as always.
Love being here. Thank you.
All right.
And guess who's coming up next, Joe?
I would say
they're already entering the
Steve's
room.
at the door.
Gary
Get
and
out.
the crew.
He's throwing
beautiful weekend.
Steve's throwing us out.
And the first
that's
mate is
awesome.
entering the room right now.
All right, stay tuned for Do You Remember? It's coming up next after the 9 o'clock news.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOO.